When it comes to listing favorite TV movies this year, the ratings show that once again, we, the audience, showed a variety of interests in our viewing preference. We didn't like comedy much in our movies, except for She's in the Army Now, a Private Benjamin look-alike that finished near the top of the list. But we certainly liked stories about people overcoming odds, whether it be the U.S. Olympic hockey team in Miracle on Ice, or Faye Dunaway's remarkable performance in Evita Peron, or Peter Strauss's fight for the conservation of whales in A Whale for the Killing. Viewers agreed with the television industry, which gave its highest award, the Emmy, to Anthony Hopkins for his brilliant work in The Bunker, a docudrama about Hitler's last days.
The German people that are left would not deserve to live. The good ones will have died already fighting for their fatherland.
We must leave them something. Some, no matter how primitive form of society, something.
I think you despair far too much, Spear. We've had our setbacks from the beginning, and every setback has always been a whiplash, driving us onward with more determination than before. This time we will show the enemy that we will not surrender. We'll never surrender. We'll continue the attack again and again. 10 times over, we'll continue the attack.
We were also moved by the sensitive drama of a teenager trapped by anorexia nervosa, the best little girl in the world, which was one of television's highest-rated movies.
I'm not hungry. I hate peanut butter. There's some chicken from dinner. I can warm it up.
I told you to keep out of this.
All I'm saying is she should have something nourishing.
Sure. Keep pampering her, Joe. You'll end up at a funeral.
I'm not going to eat that.
Oh, yes, you are. You eat. Eat!
Oh, for God's sakes, for God's sakes! Stop it!
Ah! Ah! You ought to be locked up. You're crazy. You're being a part of sugar.
Leave her alone.
Stay out of this!
Stop shouting, Frank. You're always shouting.
Well, thank God somebody does something around here.
Our two top choices shared the distinction of interesting casting. The first, Farrah Fawcett with a critically praised portrayal of Joan Robinson Hill in the highly rated Murder in Texas. And the second, pop star Kenny Rogers matching his debut hit as the gambler with a sparkling second performance in The Coward of the County.
I want to show the people how the Lord works. Now, Brother Hofelter, let me ask you something. And you answer me truthfully. If I should draw back and hit you, could you turn the other cheek to me?
Matthew, I can't answer a question like that.
Well, Brother Hofelter, I have an answer for you. I want you to smite me on the right cheek. In the name of the Lord, smite me, Claude.
Oh, hey. Oh. Matthew?
Claude. Love lifted me.
This is the year that will be remembered certainly as the year Walter Cronkite retired from the CBS Evening News. And after 19 years as an anchorman, that's an accomplishment which, though significant, is only one of the many accomplishments of this great broadcaster in his nearly 31-year career with that network. And to list them would take longer than this program and would be somewhat redundant. His name is synonymous with first in television. Instead, let's sit and talk with the man who is recognized universally as being the most influential person in the field of broadcasting. Walter, now that you're quote-unquote retired and have freedom from the daily grind, was it like you imagined it would be, or have there been some surprising drawbacks?
Well, I think the biggest surprise is the number of people who seem to be on the streets of New York at 7 o'clock at night. I thought they were all in watching the CBS Evening News at that hour. You know, one of the things about this whole thing, that all that retirement business is just a matter of longevity. You sit out there with your face hanging out on that tube for 20 years or so, and people get kind of used to you. It's the old shoe business, and you know, you just don't like the new pair quite as well as the old, simply because the fit isn't just as comfortable as you think it might be.
The convention, the 52 convention, and I think it's generally agreed that in some sense at that convention, your, forgive the expression, stardom was given took a quantum leap and was firmly established. Why do you see that as having happened?
I've never known. I've never known. I have no idea. I look at myself on tape and can't figure out why I'm employed, to tell you the truth. It probably is simply that I'm terribly interested in the subject that I'm working with at all times. I really never had any desire to be a pundit. I'm a newsman. I like being managing editor. I like taking the raw news product and putting it into some sort of digestible, palatable form. And perhaps it's just that excitement over the product and the real desire to communicate it, to help people understand it, that makes it work.
I was trying to think of something that you had been criticized for, and it's hard to. The only thing I could really come up with...
Let me turn to the files. Well, we got a few drawers filled with them. Well, if you're talking about things on the air that I think were bad moments and that I handled badly, I could name a couple. One, which will live with me forever, was an interview with Mayor Daley during the 1968 convention. The 1968 convention, yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure. And when we were having all the trouble in Chicago with the dissident young people and the overreacting Chicago police and the heavy security measures that Daley had imposed, perhaps needed, but anyway, they were terribly heavy. And I had him on the air, got the only interview anybody got with him, and I really didn't ever lay a glove on him. And I regretted it and let him just say his piece. But I had intended to do it that way. I had thought, I'm so sore about this. I'm so mad about the way they're treating the press. And this is such a police state kind of an operation. He hasn't had a chance to tell his side of the story, but I'm not even going to ask him any questions about it. I'm just going to give him the microphone and let him talk. Mm-hmm. I did, and that's the way it worked, but it wasn't good. It was not the way it was a bad strategy. Yeah.
Over the years being in the news business, do you feel a separation between the man and his emotions and the objectivity of the reporter? What was the last time you were moved to tears on camera for the story you had to report?
Oh, I suppose, well, I'm a teary guy anyway. I can be touched emotionally quite easily. Some stories that I wouldn't even remember, or might have watered me up a little bit, not to the point of tears coursing down my cheeks and dirtying my tie or anything like that. But I suppose really where I was choking back on emotions was the John Kennedy assassination. That would probably be it.